Hello and hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to their esports news story out there. A follow-up story as well based off a story I touched on last week. If you guys want the full details on this, I'll link my previous video down below. That involving King Richard and a potential scam out there of one of my friends in the graphic designing scene known as G4K. Now I'll also link G4K's original video down below because he posted this. It did go a bit viral about potentially King Richard scamming him and so on and so forth. We've actually had a few responses from both sides of things. It does seem as of right now it will be taken to court. Lawyers are being involved on both sides, so we'll see who ultimately is actually right in this case. But I do want to touch on one thing, that being King Richard's response, which is quite possibly the most pompous, the most arrogant response I have seen in quite some time.
What's up, everybody? King Rich here, bringing you a quick message and a final statement. In 2018, I hired people to deliver a better experience to you, my kingdom.
My kingdom? We've been hurt. The graphic designers, they've targeted us. They've targeted you. They've targeted you guys.
They have attacked me and you.
Because you guys scammed him, right? No, that's not how it works, King Richard. Yeah, you can call yourself because you're King Richard the Kingdom. That comes off soaps. And at the end of the video as well, you know, I'm the king. I won't bend no knee.
And I am King Richard. I will not bend the knee.
Just the entire video to me came off with a bad vibe. I don't know people out there who have watched this and thought, oh, he must have been right. And, you know, and first of all, most of all as well, he says they can keep their deposit. Yes, we can actually clarify, actually, thanks to King Richard himself, the deposit he actually gave these graphic designers was 10% of the overall value of the project, that being $1,000, the overall project being $10,000.
I paid them the requested money agreed up front as a deposit. All that I received back were unfilled promises and undelivered results. They have my deposit money still. I don't want it back. Let them really pay their artists or whatever.
Yeah, he involves you guys, you know, his fans if you're watching this, and he says they're targeting you. No, they're not. These graphic artists, G4K and his team being involved, they are targeting King Richard. You did not scam them. King Richard potentially did. They are not calling out his fan base to bring you guys in as if he wants you really on his side. That's why he, of course, includes his kingdom in this and saying they're also being targeted, which is just not the truth. And besides the arrogance, the fact that he also, on top of that, decided to do a giveaway for the full amount that he was going to give the graphic designers or the artists that he was going to pay, he actually uses the full value amount of the project instead of paying the people, the graphic designers who have been confirmed spending countless hours actually rebranding his entire channel and have shown proofs of concept of the work they did complete. They have actual proof, which at this point in time, King Richard several times has said they have no proof, have not shown a single thing. Well, let me tell you one thing, King Richard has shown absolutely nothing himself. He has only said words, and you look at G4K's video, again linked down below, he has actually showed blurred images, or at least some images he can actually show snippets, because due to privacy law, if this does go to court, he cannot show you all of those things, all of those DMs, so on and so forth, but he has at least shown something. He has shown proof of concept. King Richard is the one showing no proof whatsoever. We are basically saying that his word is better than the proof that's been shown by a tinier graphic artist who is not near as well known as King Richard. And just the fact that he had to convince you guys who are watching, if you are his fans or his viewers, he had to pay you for a $10,000 giveaway. $5K is going to his viewers, $5K apparently going to charities. We'll see if that actually goes to charities. That is how he had to convince people to try and take his side. If you go to his Twitter and actually look at the responses of this video as well, you guys can see even his own fan base is not falling for this. So ultimately, I will say this. His response to me was very poor. G4K, actually back on April 2nd, he did say the matter was going to be solved privately or resolved privately. Of course, that did not happen because 3 days later was when King Richard posted that video publicly stating they had not come to anything so far. Lawyers are getting involved on both sides, but so far from what I have seen, if I'm going to give you guys my opinion, I think it's been pretty clear so far. I think the work has been done. They put in the countless hours, and also according to G4K and his team, all of the proofs of concept they sent to King Richard and his team were approved, which means they were pushed forward. They were approved and said, keep on doing whatever work you're doing. And so therefore they were led down this path continuously and then not paid for ultimately the work they did complete. And just another dagger out there, G4K has pure clear proof, a screenshot as well of many times that King Richard for over a week used their designs on his live stream. If you did not want their work, then why are you using their work without paying for it besides the small portion of the payment in your deposit? That literally makes no sense. It seems to me, in my opinion, there was an agreement made, whether it's Twitter DMs or emails. Agreements can be proven in court many ways out there. There was agreement made for an ultimate payment for the work done. They might have done a portion of their work. They might have actually completed your project, but they did a portion of the work, which means they are owed at least a portion of the pay, not just a 10% deposit. Now, as always, the courts are going to decide if it does go that far, if they continue not to resolve this case. I told you guys in my first video, the best thing to do for King Richard in this case, because we have seen this times before where YouTubers and streamers, they owe artists or designers, some sort of value out there, some sort of payment. They don't send it. The community uproars. The streamer or the YouTuber continues not to pay them, and it just escalates more and more not in their favor, and it makes them look exceedingly bad. And that's what King Richard is doing. You could have gone away. You could have, of course, taken that 10K. You're instead doing a giveaway for your community. You could have taken the 10K. You could have paid off the graphic artist. It could have been swept under the rug, but now you are bringing it back to light, making yourself, in my opinion, look very poor. And also, honestly, what I've seen so far is absolutely no proof from King Richard. We've at least seen something from G4K, which tilts me definitely in their favor that they are not being paid what they deserve. And I apologize if I'm getting a little angry out there. I know I saw very few. I think a lot of you guys agree what we've seen so far. It's definitely not in the favor of King Richard. But I did see a few comments out there saying, Jake, why did you touch on this story without seeing both sides? I've seen both sides. And now let's let the court decide who is actually in favor. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy this episode of Esports News. I'll see you back here later today with more CSGO news as well. But for now, we'll just see who's right.
Well, at this point, like I literally can't pay them even if I want to. I want you to have the maximum enjoyment of my efforts. And so you will. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the entire cost of the project, $10,000. So we're gonna be giving away $5,000, $1,000 to 5 individuals, $1,000 to 5 different charities.